All right, here we go. Whoops, I'm going to do that. See your stream dashboard. Where's my chat thingy? I was setting up some audio stuff, so that's why I was running too late. We add the anime. All right. Let's get situated. A little quiet. Okay. Let me check some stuff. Does it sound better now? How am I sounding? How am I sounding now? I did some messing with some audio stuff, so it sounds okay now. Yeah. Okay. I think it's just because my head was away from the microphone, but I can boost it if I need to at some point. So basically, I set it up so like Twitch will reroute the audio so that we can play music on here and it won't result in copyright strikes in the VODs in the future. All right, okay, let's get some warm-up drawings in then. Actually going to zoom us in on right on those legs, and we're going to pause that actually. Instead of our normal warm-up routine today, we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to really just slow down and just concentrate on the legs. So for these, you can take your time. I am going to warn you when I'm about to skip them. If you want to keep working on these, you can screenshot them after I get done with them. But I'm going to actually like slow down and spend my time with these. And we're also going to copy some drawings and stuff. We'll talk about some of the anatomy thing. I do have like a video, some video reference for us to look at later too, of some artistic anatomy instructors who put like free artistic anatomy classes on YouTube, which will be useful for further learning this stuff. So what I think we'll do, we'll spend the first half hour kind of getting situated to this a bit. Just really concentrating on the legs. And I don't want the time pressure this time of the clock, at least for right now. I think it's important for the warm-ups that we kind of get reoriented that and realize that this is not a race. Is the music a little loud? Should I adjust it? You guys can hear the music, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because like basically I set up a there's like a OBS has a thing that you use a VOD track on Twitch, so you can keep from you can use a VOD audio track to like stream your mic and your game audio separate from like your music track, and that helps you avoid copyright strikes. So you can play music on here, but then you won't get like a copyright strike in the VOD. It's extremely rare for you to get copyright struck in the VOD, but I don't want. But I might as well set this stuff up now. Of course, that also does also mean if I'm playing YouTube videos and stuff. Well, if I'm playing games, the game audio is going to be just fine. I don't know if I'll be playing games in the future though, so don't hold me to that. But let's see here. There's different muscle groups. I'm doing the proportions pretty funky on these right now. Hello. Oh, it's Mags. Yeah, finally showed your face in the stream. It says you're a first time chatter in here, even if you've watched before. It's your first time post actually chatting in here. Yeah, my proportions are pretty funky on these. Jesus. Let's see. Like that calf is pretty huge. It's almost kind of like I gotta raise the butt up here to make it proportionate. Then this gets moved a bit. And then thicken up the thigh a bit. Maybe thin up the foot, the feet. And legs today, yes indeed. So let's see if we can get some color-coded anatomy in here. In this big reference file I put together. Okay, let's see if we can color code some of these. Well, that calf like being really short is kind of bugging me. Like that knee is like that should be like that, and then this should be it. Get something approaching the proportion. What's the image in the lower right? Oh, this is a PureF file of stuff I grabbed on Pinterest. I can actually upload this later for anyone who wants it, or I can upload it now. I'm planning on putting more stuff in it, so let's see. Oh yeah, that'll be a version I saved. Um, yeah, I'll put it in my Discord. So here's my Discord, and then go over to when you're in my Discord, you go over to Stream Text Chat right here, and I will upload the file. There we go. It's a PureF file. So PureF is a free app. I'll link that too. There's the link to it. This is a free thing. You just put $0 when you go to checkout. That's good for gathering reference and stuff. So this has all the images that I gathered before class and stuff. It's just something I threw together of stuff from Pinterest that seemed pretty useful. Oh, here's the nice useful diagram right like this. Okay, let me see here. So we're gonna slow down today. Normally we do like time figure posts, but today is like a very anatomy centric day, and that means slowing down instead of doing like a warm-up set of poses. We're gonna slow down and like pay attention to like how anatomy works and try to memorize stuff. So let's see here. There's certain muscle groups that we're gonna be going for here. We may do some time poses, but they will be later, and there'll be like a rapid fire round of like trying to do like rapid fire memorization. Okay, so that's the inner thigh right here. So that's going to be tricky, actually. That's not quite the right. I want something of the outer thigh because that's what that is. Let's go through here. There's some stuff there that could work. Let me look around here to see if there's anything like particularly chunky and dimensional that would be good to use for this. A good side view of the thigh, ideally with color coding, so we can clearly see that there's something. Although this is a reversed image, so that's easily. I'm pretty sure I can flip this. Arrange, here we go. No. I just found there's a way to like flip this, but oh well. What I can do is I can flip my workspace on this. So we have this kind of, I'm going to do this on a separate layer here. Let me know if the music's a little loud because I can adjust it. All right, so you want to draw along. Feel free to grab what we got. All right, so on the buttock side of the buttocks here, got this kind of circle shape that I'm going to sort of use to find the general divot of the gluteus maximus in there. And then we have, what are the, I forget what this one was called, but this one hooks in from the corner of the hip right here. And then this one is the gluteus medius right here. Connects in from the top of the hip along there, along the pelvis. You get something like this going on. Then you have like, we're going to make a very clear kind of divot here for this. And then I'm going to put the quadriceps in. Oh, I'm gonna put this right here. I've forgotten the muscle terms already. Let me actually bring up my Michael Hampton book right here because he had these labeled, so I'm gonna use them as a cheat sheet to rememorize their names. There we go. Okay, legs. All right, so this little guy right here is called the tensor fascia lata. It's the latte muscle. That's what it's called. That's one muscle right here. It hooks into this. It hooks into this area down here. This right here, it's a big long spring that goes along in like an S curve along the inner thigh. This one's called the sartorius. Both of these muscles are hooked into the corner of the rib cage. And then along the rim of the side of the pelvis is the gluteus medius that kind of curves in right here. And then the gluteus maximus is all the rest of this right here that kind of goes in. And it has this kind of like a tire shape to it. This divoted area, sort of. From there we got the quadriceps right here, which is actually like a group of 3 muscles right here. That hook into the knee and around the knee right here, this kind of thing. Yeah, and then this right here, I believe, was that supposed to be the hamstring? I think that's supposed to be the hamstring back there. There's also another thing right in here that is a little harder to distinct because I didn't color code it, but it's called the, let me look it up. The ilioorbital tract. It's this kind of thing that goes along here and helps with the stability of the leg, and it starts here and it ends curving down into the leg here. I think it's like underneath in there. So we'll kind of walk through this a bit. I think there's some better diagrams over here because I did grab some Michael Hampton images. We're mainly concentrating on the upper thigh today, by the way. Music's a bit loud. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, so yeah, this is much clearer. All right, so check this out. Okay, that orange thing right here, that's the gluteus medius. The red thing back here is the gluteus maximus, right there. This right here that hooks into that little corner of the pelvis, you can see right here too. The corner of the pelvis right there, and then loops in under there, is the tensor fascia lata, or TFL, or you can call it the lata if you want to, or latte. Then this right here, which is also over here, this is this long thing right here, and you can see more of it if you see the inner thigh, but we don't see the inner thigh here. You see the front and the side profile. This right here that starts at the corner of the pelvis and loops down around here is the sartorius. And then these three muscles right here are the quadriceps, right there. Then this blue thing back here is the hamstring, and you can see some of it on the sides here too. Not that, but like the right here, you can see some of it. This right here that kind of looks like a key that's underneath the muscle here. That it's like a key that sticks down there, and it connects up actually like right here. See that? It's doing that right there. That's the let's look it up. What was it called again? The iliorbital tract. Okay. So let's try to maybe color code these. So I will try to use maybe a little bit of his color coding because then I don't have to think about it. So we got, let me rub this down a bit. We got this, which is the TFL, the latte muscle. Hooks in right there. Then let me get some orange, some reddish orange maybe. And we have a muscle right here, kind of a triangular muscle. And that is the gluteus medius. Then I'm gonna maybe like I'm gonna maybe use like a kind of reddish color for the gluteus maximus, which is this thing right here. And the gluteus maximus has this kind of like tire sort of shape, like this. Two things that Michael Hampton notes about. So you got like, I mean, it's kind of like a tire. Like you've seen a tire that has like a divot in here where the axle is, and then here's like the rubber part of the tire. So you get lines that go in like this, and then wrap over this, and then like in there, like that. Like so. And then in addition to that, like the back of the buttock actually has this kind of general shape to it, a sort of butterfly for the butt that you can think of. And there's like a, you can see how that works out there, something like that. I'm not really following the muscle striations here. I'm just trying to find the dimensionality. Let's see here. So next one would be, let's do the look up the terminology again here in my cheat sheet. That key muscle, the one that's on the side of the iliorbital tract. It's kind of a key shape like this. That's not, that's a campaign ad thing on my phone. It's maybe something like this. There. I'm probably going to draw over it with like the quadriceps. Get a little bit more of the buttock in there. All right, so next one would be the quadriceps. Well, actually, we do have like a little indication of right here. Actually, let me put that blue. I'll keep that blue right there. But that's the sartorius. It's snaking down around the inner side of the thigh. On the other side, right here, it's going to be something like that. But yeah, it hooks into the top corner of the pelvis, like right here. We're going to make a black dot right there. Let's see. So we got three muscles here for the quadriceps, and they kind of do this. The outer one is a little bit kind of smaller, a bit, and well, actually it's bigger. And let's get maybe like a dark red for this middle one here. This is maybe a little bigger here. We add some more to this because this kind of loops in there a bit. That's more to the TFL right there. Then we have this middle one in here that's kind of bulging and inserting into here. I'm going to darken this little kind of gap between the muscles that's right in there. This is actually bulging off of the bone here at the very end. You can see some of the bone starting to come closer to the skin down there. And then maybe I'll use like a kind of a yellowish orange for this other muscle on the side here. This is the other part of the quadriceps right there. It's cool. So, and then we have the hamstrings. I'm going to use like a dark, I'm going to use like a purple for the hamstrings. Yeah, the hamstrings kind of do this sort of bulgy thing back here, and then they hook into back of the calf. Let me look at his. We're actually seeing a bit of the back of the calf here. Oh, here we go. So this right here, yeah, that's his hamstring right there. And then we can see like somehow because of how he has his leg twisted, we see like a little bit of some of the back of the knee sticking out there a bit, like this. Okay. Um, let's grab it. Let's grab some more images here. This one's a nice view of the buttock. So we'll do another study maybe up here. I'll raise opacity on that layer so I can draw the study. Let's see. Do I want to do both legs for this? Maybe I do. Let's put this up for now. He's kind of standing in a similar posture. This might be. Is this from the same sequence? No, it's not. But I could like it's the same model, so I could do could do something kooky like this, where I use his legs in this position as a reference for doing a block in here. literally just shift his hips over because he's got like the same proportions and everything. Let's kind of block this in a bit and then turn that off. Yeah, now it looks like he's moving, which is nice, even though these are like Frankenstein from two different motion sequences. But now we can start thinking about the studies that we're doing three-dimensionally if you do something like this. How it's turning in space. Oh, hang on, we were going to pause on that last one. Stay zoomed in. Also, if you like these streams that we're doing, feel free to support them with a sub. That'd be awesome. So we're gonna kind of like do our best here, and then there's some really good video content I found before class. Uh, there's like literally like a bunch of like free university lectures on artistic anatomy by like really good lectures that were made available for free by like some local universities in like this one state and a few other places. It's amazing. You can get like a full like otherwise prohibitively expensive drawing course for free online through YouTube through like so this university that put everything from their basics to advanced stuff available for free online. It's pretty awesome. Low-key, I don't know why I knew about it for years, but I never used it. And I mean, it's an excellent option. You literally like getting the same content that you would get as if you were like taking an actual class. You just don't get instructor feedback, obviously. There's so much like good free art education on YouTube. Like the only thing that's missing is you need instructor feedback. But the next best thing is like you get peer feedback and stuff. That's why communities like mine exist. Yeah, I am an animator. I've been in the animation industry for about 10 years. Work has been kind of slow lately, so I'm kind of like, going back to basics and stuff. Part of it is like I want to train up my figurative art skills so I can like work more consistently on like work more consistently for like doing anime production work, which requires a lot better figure drawing than I'm currently capable of doing. So I'm going to be skill grinding like hell like with that. And these nightly sessions in Twitch that I'm doing are to boost my skills. So most nights we'll be doing some kind of a figure or figure pose studies. And tonight we're concentrating on a localized area of anatomy. I'm going to be running these sessions a little bit like how I run my sessions, how my instructors used to run their sessions in art school and stuff, where we usually have like draw along and like study periods and things like that. All right, so I kind of got like the contour of these legs going on right here, like enough to work with for this, and I got like a little bit of like some anatomical information in there. I think these are far enough along that I can yeah, and they look pretty good. Like actually wasn't doing like checking. Well, there is this issue. Um, Let me see if that resolves it. It kind of does a little bit. Might be. I think the legs might be getting a little longer. Yeah, they're getting a little longer. Maybe like that, and then that, and then shorten up the calf a bit. So a good way to track things in animation is when you color code them. This is obviously way more complicated as far as how much anatomy you would probably want to draw for an animation. But we're tracking what's actually happening here. So we're going to color code it like that. I'm going to zoom in on the upper thigh here. So that is the TML, the TFL, the tensor fascial latte. Yeah. And then this is the gluteus medius right here. Looking in there, like so. And now gluteus maximus, right here. Doing its thing, kind of like that butterfly shape that we were looking at here. It is funny to think that, like, you know, butterfly. The butterflies are basically in the shape of a simplified butt. All right, so that key shape right there. I already forgot the name of this one, but we're gonna throw this in. And this one, let's take a look at where it goes on our cheat sheet. Yeah, it kind of connects up in there. A little bit above the hamstring. And then for the hamstrings, what color did we use on that? It was a purple that I used. Grab that. Hamstrings are kind of all back in here. And then creating this kind of little divot area down here. The hamstrings are kind of like this weird alien creature that's like grabbing something. Like there. It's kind of like hooking around like there a little bit. Although it does go down in there. Then the quadriceps right here, we'll get like the rightmost one. Kind of bulging here. Then I get like the darker one here. I think we will do a time post set after this because like it's good to like slow down on this and then kind of just digest a bunch of rapid fire like leg stuff. Then I can display like full figures. So we're gonna I'm gonna finish this up. And also, if you want to work on these two photos that I was using for reference, I will throw them in my Discord right now in stream text chat. So that photo and that photo are now over in my Discord right there. And the PureF file where I have my cheat sheet stuff is right there. So yeah, that's a little starter thing. But here's like the warm-ups I was doing for the set today. So let's actually, I think we're gonna do some full figures, but full figures with an emphasis on legs. But I'll give you guys a little break. I'm gonna run the pre-roll ads just real quick. I'm gonna get up and stretch for a little bit. We're gonna start in 1 minute from now. So yeah, subs will get an extra minute on this pose. So I think for me, some of the key will be not to be like precise with what I'm doing per se, but more decisive with it. Like when I want to memorize these things and make use of them, I gotta kind of exaggerate them a bit and cartoonify them. I think my strategy for these will be I'll try to get as much of the figures I can in, but I'm gonna try to get at least like one upper thigh anatomy detail in on these. And then if I feel like it, go for some more of the figure as well. Because I don't want to get out of tune with observing and practicing figure poses. So I'll do about like 19 minutes of poses here. All right, so this guy, yeah, that means when I see apparent examples of his anatomy, I'm going to try to like throw in some of the simplified devices in them that I've been using. I'm going to try to like quickly throw in some of the muscle indications on the leg, like this. I'm doing an abbreviated version of what we slowed down to do more carefully in the study. I'm trying to recall the information quickly and do it from different angles now. And we'll be doing this for just about every muscle group as we go through this in the coming days, weeks, whatever, however long it takes to really master this. Getting good at anatomy, actually, it's good at getting good at anything in art is like spinning plates. Like we'll study legs for a while, we'll get good with legs, then we'll have to study some other things we got weaker at. Whenever there, study that. Uh, then we get weaker at other things. Run over and study this and that, and eventually come back to legs again when we start getting weaker at legs. But as we go, we'll be steadily like improving overall. So like even our weaker legs are still better than they would have used to have been because they're better informed. That's a nice thigh actually for reference right there. Both of these thighs are actually pretty nice in this picture. You could definitely do a zoom down study of those thighs for sure. Zoomed in, long study. I'm adding the adductors, which is a muscle that we didn't do, but those are your inner thigh muscles right there. I'll put them in green so you know what I'm talking about right there. You zoom in on this a bit. There's the sartorius right there, hooking in from the top corner of the ribcage, the pelvic. Then there's the TFL, it's hooking around the corner there. Really tricky muscle there. Feel a little bit of the quad indication of the quadriceps right here in the time we have left on this pose. I get that bulging one up right here. And remember that there's a little gap in between there. I'm going to color code that gap in red right there. And there's a little bit more of the adductors. Those are in the inner thigh muscles. How long are we going to spend on the legs? Until I feel like we should move on. But next, after we get down through the legs, later in the menu is the arms, especially the forearm anatomy. But really the entire arm, and probably the shoulders too. Okay, let's see here. What's my strategy? Sartorius kind of helps define the gesture of the leg a little bit better. There's the TFL kind of looping in there. Kind of flexing his. What's happening there? It's like part of his buttock is kind of flexing on the left side there, bulging. Get some extra bonus time on that last pose. So this thigh is pointed more this way, which is interesting. So we get more of the inner thigh here. Very interesting. Then some of the quads, getting like this kind of divot going on here, and then like the top of the quad bulging. This is all the way down there. Just gonna just we haven't really done much with the calves yet, so I'm just kind of throwing some gesture in there. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do with this? We can probably move on to the next pose soon. But yeah, compared to yesterday, this is a big level up for the quick sketching of doing legs for me, for sure. Makes me curious how tomorrow's going to be. Tomorrow I'm going to maybe try doing, because we're going to do the whole leg, including the foot. The foot is pretty tricky. Foot is like about as tricky as hands are in some cases, in a lot of cases. And hands are really tricky. But don't worry, we will give the foot its due diligence too. It'll be foot day. So I started autopiloting a bit here. Oh, we paused this. All right, let's go to the next pose. Sorry. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to pause that. I must have hit spacebar or something. And that'll work. It is covering the butt a bit, but this will work. So that's a very, very defined thigh on the screen left, right there. Also, like I can kind of see like the butterfly shape of the buttock here to do a little block in. Mm, should we do this one? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that outer thigh right there is pretty visible. I get at least that one in. I can get like a gesture indication for the other one. I think we'll make this the last pose before a 5 minute break. But I hope you guys are doing good with this. I got really kind of sidetracked on that pose. That was a I think that pose was a dud for me because I'm getting a little exhausted on those. I wasn't as attentive on it. But these other ones turned out good. Like this one kind of got a little away from me, I think. But this one I like a lot. That one's good. I started to kind of like taper off in how thoughtful I was being on these, but there's still some good qualities to these. Yeah. How you guys doing with this? It's not a perfect animation. It does look like the thigh is kind of growing in length a little bit when it turns and it's thickening up a bit, but Okay, we've been at this for an hour. I didn't set the timer. It's been at least 2 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes.
3-minute timer starting.
Gooby Mag said earlier, I may be doing the IRL life drawing a few towns over from me next Tuesday. I will let you know how it goes. That's cool. I need to stretch. And maybe original test water. We'll do that. Hmm. Where's my PRF? There it is. A lot of good stuff in here, and like I kind of feel like I want to like put this into a time pose lineup. Do like super quick studies of like stuff like this. Yeah, I think for this it would be good to look at these for a while, honestly. But I think it would be even better if we did that other thing that I was talking about doing, where we feed our head. This is, I love Michael Hampton. Look how he stylizes that study there. Alexa, stop. So the YouTube video I was talking about, there's not going to be any audio of this in the VOD, but there will be on the stream. This is Anatomy for Artists from
As much detail.
the Northern Kentucky University. As you can see, these guys definitely know their shit. The drawing database of Northern Kentucky University. I'll link this in chat. And so you know what YouTube this is coming from. Yeah, they have like multiple parts to this, so like drawing in the quadriceps and stuff. I mean, this is an hour long, so we may not want to sit through it. But maybe we can get like little bits and pieces of it. But this seems like something I definitely would want to go through on my own, maybe off stream. But we can peep at it a bit.
To be talking about the muscles of the front upper leg, side, and also the back. So we're going to be talking about the quadriceps, the four of them. There are three that really stand out in top leg. We'll talk if you will. So,
So let me.
what I've got now in front of you, see this, seen this study before, or never, basic.
Let me zip through this a bit.
And it continues on.
So yeah, there's See what he has to see about this muscle that he's about to draw in.
Right, here's going to be this area right here. Now rectus femoris. So the rectus femoris.
Rectus femoris.
It's going to sheet down from here over, and feel like it's kind of the same shape or feeling as the intermedius.
It's part of the quadricep. It's like that center one in the quadricep.
It's a brownish tendinous here that attaches up through in the brown, and it gets a little.
Yeah, I'll roll some figures over here on the side for you folks.
Down a little bit wide. And more centers. So this is
Maybe put this here and then that there and then that there. Okay.
So first, it's around and inferior. You can think of it as okay, but you can also think of it as a cylinder or a block. So instructions doing this over kind of that as we come down. So this is feel down here.
Very nice.
Straight, like belt straight, body down this. So we're just now. We have the tendons here. What's interesting about this tendons area, this is going to wrap down. So notice it's pretty high. So it's about right here along the right through there. And once we have that, we start to come down with a longer tendon. It's going to attach sheet over the patella. Now the patella, remember here, it's floating and it gets totally buried. This tendon sheath.
I'm gonna draw along with him.
Like so down over it, and then it continues on to the ends down at the end of the notch, roughly down through. So that's pretty long. There's your rectus femoris here. Problems on the here's where all the
Good shit.
to the inferior part of the spine of.
Okay, so it's doing this.
Getting through. Down through. Now, it's the only one of the leg muscles. But remember, we got two already. The vastus intermedius right here underneath it, attaching it from the base of the great trochanter up here. Okay, up here a little bit on the side. Now the next muscle we're going to attach will be the vastus intermedialis. Okay. Now the intermedialis will attach up through the lateral side, roughly. Now,
Oh, interesting.
trochanter here. It gives you that all the left side of the muscle. And let me also show you something that the overall feeling of the leg, okay, this overall feeling here, coming down straight, and then folding over, is going to be a leg that feels in its more angle at rest, like this. And they two, they decided angle aspect. And where do you see that? You see that in the femur. Yeah. So we have that view. So the vulvar outside
I see.
is going to feel that too. Now, really understand that, get that located into our assignments, or fancy word for vastus intermedialis are going to connect here into the side of the truncator area.
Okay.
Come down, sheet over. It's a pretty vast ball muscle, bulky. In the front view, it'll start to bulk out, head out. And give us bulky over here. It will come up. So this is actually the ladder part that also it will move down flat a little bit from underneath the rectus femoris here and really starts to bulk out. Thus, they your head down, keep on going, and it starts to come in and give it its head here. Can you see that?
Ah, okay. That's where it hooks in.
A little bit lower. So, muscle inside here, underneath a little bit. Start to feel that. Flat. Get it here. Throw it back through here. Back through.
Yeah, I'm not quite getting the shape right, but it's good to get exposed to this.
Over and down the condyle, but really now connecting up with the patellar tendon on the side, sheeting over the patella, and the patella that's buried underneath. Connect with that. And sheathing and coming back down to the patella. Tendon. So there we go. There's the vastus intermedialis. The vastus intermedialis, the vastus lateral side. There's no more vastus. And you can kind of see it both here on the side, right? It's quite a muscle, so it's going to look like this. It's going to be attaching down.
Oh, okay, so it's also attaching there. That's something.
Coming down through underneath, and but on top of it, underneath the rectus femoris, coming down through. You're going to see it. It looks like a very beautiful, bulky, and very well developed.
Yeah, I studied some of this. I studied this years ago, but then like forgot most of it. This is going to be an anatomy deep dive for the next several days.
Second step would be the vastus lateralis. The third head will be tucked tight into here. Would be down the vastus medialis because it's on the medial side of the leg. So feel this coming through the flat. Take back over, sheeting down, grabbing it, going underneath, back over, and into this area, and gives Barry through there. Right, so let's take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
So this will turn it shade it. So what we're getting is coming.
Yeah, I at least wanted to get as far as like the quadriceps. We could probably skip ahead, maybe. Okay.
It helps.
Oh, he's talking about the sartorius here.
Here, now the rectus femoris attaches here. It's the only one of these large blood muscles that does so. It helps bringing this leg. The other things help flatten its superior part.
Oh wait, no, that's not it. This is something else here. So that's the sartorius. Okay, it's hooked up over there. Okay, so this is the sartorius. The little snaky S curve that's on your inner thigh.
Pretty powerful. Now, sartorius, you see it generally from the side. Here it starts to change. It's kind of a band. disappear here. It starts to
Mm.
recur. It opens up. Now we're going to curve across the cylinder leg, curve it over, never coming up and heading up to where not here, but to the interior superior, the higher. Right here. It's going to attach for your side of your tensor box bottom. Attach multiple layers. So we're going to let it come all the way over. See, this is all. Let's go. It can be very subcutaneous fat. If you get knockouts from the side, see the side, this here's our side. So it's again, it's kind of like bells. Shape it. See that it's a little bit flatter.
Jump ahead here a bit.
So side as well. So,
I'm gonna definitely go through this again later too on my own. Oh, he put in the FML. Okay, let's see. So this is where he put that in. Okay. Tensor fascia lata. What color should I use for that? Purple. Okay.
Mostly inside the strand over here is shape that and side. So TF tensor fascia latas. Okay. Now I'm not going to stop there. We're going to now work the next one. It's difficult to see on the side. It's there. It's called the iliotibial tract. So the iliotibial tract runs on the side of your leg. It's going to be helpful all the stuff. Okay, I'll put that on there later. This is the trope here. Box, so right. It runs down the side, but it's tied to the inner lateral. As it comes down, this one will go down and then bend and attach. It's going to attach to the lower aspect.
I see. Yeah, it's gonna run underneath there when it's on the side view.
Tendinous materials, very fibrous and tendinating, and it gives you this band here on the side. And so if that we get this little gap here in between, see that gap. And that's the iliotibial tract. See that, especially on the side, it's a tendinous bone to this entire area. Very fragile. It's amazing kind of area that comes together. It's a very fragile area in that there's so much going on with muscle, bone, tendon, and ligament. This is it's bound to break down.
Let's jump ahead a bit. And he's giving good info. It's just I don't want to sit through the whole thing for the evening. He is showing off like how the adductors worked. So let me pick a color to color code that. Let's do like bright purple.
So basically again cover all this material.
see.
Holding a finger into part of the base. It's not as much.
Interesting.
So all of this is wrapped around. So we're gonna turn this in. So it wants to part that we wind up knowing about. So single.
Maybe use a green for this.
Pretty big nose one inside down. Awesome. She got two minutes to the lesser you bring that out right through here. Here. It's going to fall. Cascading water attached to two places. Here. And also cascading. Spinning its head. So
Interesting. So it's like actually coming out of the inside of the pelvis, hooking in there.
Squares up here, so this will come in and down, 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 sheet up. This sheet all like takes up the fingers all the way up to some of the lumbar vertebrae. You know, that's so much for artistic purposes. It's cool. Take a look at this sheet down the right. Get this sort of tube line quality also needs down to the lesser trophy.
This is a muscle that Michael Hampton doesn't cover when he talks about legs, but it's there.
Pretty fascinating stuff. All right, so that now is the iliopsoas. It's actually pronounced.
Let me see where he's going with this. Okay, let's see here. All right, there's this.
That cubic crest is close space. Okay, little air figure. We're gonna have to take to the back of this top. To as well as this part over some space. And then here it's a long and a most rectangular muscle. It comes over and attaches and when the wrong would be when you aspira attached to the back. Like the act there, like this. So it's rectangular kind of flat. As well. So this aspect to it. So
Some of these are not going to be necessary to draw, but it's good to know.
So there's a gap created, and there's another gap.
Here's a gap.
Coming over, like so. And why there's a gap? Why there's a gap is because the next adductor is the longest. So you have to screw
The longest.
This muscle tendons down here to here, and then it comes down and over and out, and down and attaches back into the aspirate and through here. So we'll put these on here. So if it is
Okay, that's why I made the gap, because there's another little muscle inserted in there. Now we know where all that weird looking bumpy piping is in the inner thigh. This is like way more complicated than what Michael Hampton demonstrated.
So we have now space down here.
Let's see, where does he cook from here? Okay. There's another gap in there. I see. It's not going to be necessary to like draw every one of these muscles out when doing like simplified anatomy, but okay. He's showing it off how it actually works, like without the other stuff on top of it. All right. So this next one, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I just want to like kind of jump in it real quick to see what he. Let's see, because he's doing the back of the leg on this one. Okay. That's very cool. I think I'm gonna save this one. That's actually really cool right there. I love this because you get to see exactly where like the muscles are inserted in real time and kind of get a sense of how they sort of sweep and stuff. It's very, very useful. So that's the hamstring back there that he's putting in there, like these two parts to the hamstring that hook into the back of the calf there. Putting in the buttock, and that's where it inserts under the buttock right there at the corner of the pelvis, the back of the pelvis there. Yeah. Zip through this a bit. He mainly just covers like the hamstring back there on the second drawing, and hamstring in the buttock there. And then this one, he covers the muscles that weren't quite as visible in the side profile. Very good, very good. I'm gonna hold on to this for looking at later when I'm in Discord. But how are you guys doing so far with this? This is what I got following along with the video we were just watching. Right here. A little bit like scrumbled. I should probably use a different drawing material for doing these studies, like something that's more sketchy. Like something like this. But no, this is pretty good. Like getting exposed to these muscle groups definitely helps. So what you want to do with this is like you start playing with it. Like you start playing with the memorization of it. You look at reference. Let's just have some fun for the rest of the session here because we had like kind of that stuffy lecture. Now we can have some fun playing around with this. Like we get a general idea of how this stuff works, and then we can start doing like just real simplified versions of parts of the anatomy stuff. Remembering what he was talking about, what he and the drawing books we've been looking at were talking about. Like learning anatomy is a very slow burn process, so it's going to take a lot of practice and repetition, trying to get insight from different sources so you can, if something's not clicking from a particular instruction that you're looking at, maybe something else will from another source that you might be looking at. Let's see here. There's the sartorius. There's our good buddies, the adductors. There's the quads right here. Let me get the music back on. Let's see. Hope you guys are doing good with this. I know I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of dry information, to be sure. But what you do with that dry information as you start to internalize it starts to get very exciting. Let's see here. That hooks up into the pelvis. That loops around there. I'm just trying to get like the overall kind of gestural impression. Some of the anatomy in there. I definitely think I want to look at some George Bridgman too, either tonight or in the near future. I feel like I'll be receptive to him after having done a bunch of this. Oh, let's take a good long look at this leg right here. I think I'll probably give us some extra time on this. We're gonna get some extra time in that last pose on those legs. Gotta make those three heads with the muscle there. Very good. Let's see. Do we really want to do this? This is very. Foreshortening is going to kind of throw me off at this stage, although it will be important to do this. But I do kind of want to study some foreshortened drawings of this before getting into that. These are very nice. because I'm starting to understand the because I'm starting to understand like what the muscles are actually doing. Like I'm starting to develop a little bit more of a shorthand for describing their contours, at least for like blocking them in, and then I can go in and like get more detailed with them. If we're gonna get some extra time on this, I'll pause it. There. We will skip this one when I feel like we're going to skip it. Here's a hollow area in there. That's interesting. That divot, the inner thigh there. So we got this head of the quadricep, this head of the quadricep, and then this head of the quadricep. I'm doing this. Try to darken in like the parts where there's kind of a divot or a gap right there, because that seems to make it read a lot nicer. All right, good, good. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Oops. Why is it on this tool? Here, one sec. I tapped something I shouldn't have on my keyboard, I think. Okay, I kind of see what's happening here. There's a little bit of like the adductors in there, and then like some of the some of the hamstrings are sticking out. You made that knee really thick without meaning to. Feel like how there's like this kind of fish shape there. That's an interesting muscle divot happening like right here, right there. It's like a goldfish cracker shape. That knee do still to be looking pretty bulky in this study. Yeah, today is more of the upper thigh day. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna do more of the thigh, but we'll also start dipping more into the calves, the lower legs. And eventually, be doing the feet too. And the feet are going to be really interesting because they're tricky. Here's my like simplified formula for doing feet right here. A little hard to see with the chat box. Sorry, like that. Yeah, this is that simplified, like, kind of hockey puck shape for the. So it's a hockey puck in a cube, and then you have these kind of arches right here. It's like a chopped in half hockey puck for the toes. This is handy for shoes, but when you start getting into feet, it gets a little tricky. What's good though is that this device will work on the left or the right foot and stuff, and then you can just like modify it, narrow one side if you need to, and chop it off and stuff. Exaggerate that a little bit there. The cube of the knee really stick out. Welcome, welcome, the people that are coming in. We're doing some slow burn anatomy studies right now. And you can draw along if you want to. I'm going to color code this. I think that's good to do to help reinforce the memorization process. So the sartorius doing its thing there. Is on a separate layer first. We got the hamstring kind of bulging down in there. The adductors doing some crazy shit here. Quadriceps. Let's get like that one, and then orange for that one, and then what do I want for the other one? I want like dark yellow for the other one, like that. And then the latte, tensor fascia latte. There we go. That little thing that hooks up to that pipe right there. Okay, there we go. Trying to get somewhere with this. Oops. I can just lower opacity down in a bit like that, just to. Some good studies today, though. Oh, what happened here? Uh, oh yeah, I scooted that over without scooting this under sketch over. That's what happened. I also flipped it too, didn't I? Wait, no, I didn't. But fortunately, it's pretty easy to find where it's supposed to be because I have the corners of the pelvis there. There. Yeah, I'm gonna screen grab my studies from today. Do that. So I have a Discord. Let me post my Discord. You're gonna post them up in the. Whoops, sorry. Gonna post them up in the daily drawing section of daily drills section of Share Your Work. So there's that. That. I'm gonna give each drawing its attention like this. This. Just crop them. Then maybe this one. Right there. All right, so I'm not happy with that one, so I'm not going to include that one. But here, I'll add this to. There we go. Oh, just looking at them a little bit. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Now I'll screen grab some more of these that I did some quick post studies on. That. That. Kind of working my way backwards over what I was doing earlier today. I actually kind of like this. This quick sketch was fun to do. Today was a little bit of a change of pace in how we formatted the class. Like I had us doing studies at the beginning instead of quick sketch. I might vary that occasionally, but I think I kind of want to generally keep it to doing at least an hour of the time poses at the beginning. I think it would be best if I did like some warm ups before I even got in, so like I know what I'm getting myself into. Oh, I love that. Yeah, this. I got a screen grab. This. Yeah, I forgot about this study. There are some proportional issues with this going on here, but this is actually a good study from tonight. So there's this. And then its counterpart, which is this. Whoops. There we go. Put that one in. See if there's any more worth posting. Yeah, there's like 2 more pages, I think. This one I'm a little less concerned about keeping individual, so I'm going to screen grab the whole page. Because these were like warm-up drawings. And then that was like the first drawing I did when I opened my digital drawing app. All right, there we go. Whole lot of legs. Cool. All right, so good session. For those of you that stuck through it, very good. It would be awesome if I get another sub. I'm getting like I'm getting like close to one sub a day from one new sub a day. So if anyone has a spare sub to give on our way out here. So we're gonna do this again tomorrow night on Thursday, and then like the Friday one will be Discord only. So there's info on how to join that. That's gonna be beamed out in my Discord. Um, so yeah, there's already the Discord link posted in the chat. You can post what you've done in here. And in the daily drills section right here. So we can all see what magnificent studies you've done. Or leg day, or whatever else you're doing. So cool. We will see you folks tomorrow. Feel free to pop into the Discord too. I may be hanging out in there a little bit afterwards, or I may pop into one of the other Discords that I have, like in my friend Discord section, but we'll see. All right, so good shit. I'll see you folks. I'm gonna run one more ad on the way out, and see you folks tomorrow. Good stuff. I definitely need to use the daily drills section more. I think daily drills is where I should really be posting like these sessions in the future. 30 seconds till stream end time. Hey, pat yourselves on the back for drawing today. 15 seconds. I'll see you guys later. All right, I'll see you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. I think I'll lead in with. I think I'll get back to us like doing like warm up poses again tomorrow. Of like warm up full body poses for like around an hour ish. I of course will be emphasizing drawing legs, but